Hey, welcome to the Snarky Physicist. I'm KM. You'll have to excuse the voice, I'm still a little bit sick. It's science fiction week. Today I want to talk about the Foundation series by Isaac Asimov. This is one of the most classic science fiction series of all time. You may know Isaac Asimov if you've ever seen the movie I, Robot. That's very loosely based off of a book that he wrote. But the Foundation series is also incredibly popular and well known. So here's the concept behind Foundation. A mathematician, historian, scholar named Hari Seldon invents this system of predicting the future. And it's actually a very scientific system. The system is called psychohistory. It uses the principles of statistical mechanics. Statistical mechanics is a branch of physics concerned with knowing how individual particles behave kind of on average. And if you know sort of the probability that different particles will do different things, and you have a big system of particles, you can figure out how the whole system is going to behave just based on knowing how each one would behave. The principle of psychohistory is the idea that if you know, on average, how each person behaves and the probability that they'll react in certain ways to certain things, you can figure out the course that human history will take if you have enough people to work with, so that all those averages kind of balance out and you can see what people are going to do. So Hari Seldon invents this method and then predicts what's going to happen over the next few thousand years. He finds that there's going to be a huge disaster in human history that's going to cause thousands of years of panic and chaos, but if everybody can follow his exact plan and send history down the course that he engineers, they can lower that suffering a significant amount. Throughout the series, you kind of follow this plan throughout the centuries and millennia. Some of the assumptions behind psychohistory start to break down over time as there's new genetic mutations and new technologies. Just as a little sneak preview, one of the assumptions behind psychohistory is that humans have the freedom to make decisions. And even that starts to break down as humanity is fundamentally altered by certain mutations that occur. As humanity becomes altered with the time, the principles of psychohistory don't work out as well. And they break down in incredibly interesting ways. And that is the whole interest of the series, is watching this plan follow through, but then also the ways that it breaks down and doesn't work. The other thing that's most interesting about this series is it takes place thousands of years in the future, after human beings have already colonized the galaxy. They're already filling up all these other planets and different solar systems and stuff. They've got technologies for space travel. You get to explore all these different cultures and the way that humans deal with not being back on Earth. Late in the series, nobody even remembers what Earth is. I would say a lot of Isaac Asimov's work is pretty world-driven. It's exploring the cultures of different worlds and stuff like that. The first couple books in this series, while I find them really interesting, can be a little bit dry to get through. If you read the first three and you enjoyed them, but you're not sure whether to read it any further, I really recommend reading the fourth one. The fourth one's my favorite in the series. I've heard from a lot of people who've had the same experience. If you've read this series, let me know in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. What was your favorite book in the series? And if you have other recommendations for me, I'm always open to that, so let me know that in the comments. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to hear more, and I hope to see you next week.